Let us start a session on the sinusoidal waveforms and phasor diagrams. In this session, we will speak about the waveforms, phasors, and phase angles. We also will know the difference between the lagging and the leading nature of the phase angles. We will understand the type of responses when a sinusoidal voltage is applied to R, L, and C elements. We will speak about the reactance, impedance, power factor, and such terms. We will also take up a few problems through which we will understand the application of this topic. Thank you. Let us understand some basics of sinusoidal waveforms. You are now seeing in this figure the variation of x with respect to time in seconds. On the time axis, the values are marked as 0, t by 2, t, 2t, and so on. X of t here is the instantaneous value. This is the value which changes from one instant to another instant. Xm and minus xm are the positive and negative maximums. This maximum value is also called as amplitude or peak value. You can see from the waveform that in a time of t seconds, one cycle is made. In t seconds, one cycle is made. From this we can calculate in 1 second 1 by t cycles are made. This 1 by t cycles per second is called frequency. Let us now introduce omega as the angular frequency equal to 2 pi f. You are now seeing again the same waveform, but the horizontal axis is marked as omega t in radians. If you calculate omega t and substitute for omega 2 pi f, you will get it as 2 pi f into t. For f, you substitute 1 by t, and cancelling t and t, you get it as 2 pi. Thus, the capital T in the first figure corresponds to the value of 2 pi radians in the second figure. Thus, we could represent the value of x as xm sine omega t, in which the sine function is shown as a sine of an angle. We will know about the phasors and phase angles. See this figure. This is a voltage waveform. It is drawn with respect to omega t. The omega t axis is marked in radians and also in degrees. The equation of this waveform is V of t is equal to Vm sine omega t. From the waveform, you can see pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. We will show the values of V by means of vectors. These vectors are called voltage phasors. You are now seeing the voltage phasor at 0 degrees. At 0 degrees, if you calculate from the equation V is equal to Vm sine 0, its value is 0 from the waveform. Now the voltage phasor has rotated 30 degrees. If you calculate now at omega t is equal to 30 degrees, it will be Vm sine 30 degrees and equal to 0.5 Vm. So from the waveform you can see at 30 degrees the value of voltage has increased towards positive to a value of 0.5 Vm. Now the voltage phasor has rotated 90 degrees. At 90 degrees, if you calculate from the equation, the value will be Vm sine 90 degrees, which will be equal to Vm. Further rotation, the value of V from the waveform will start decreasing. When the phasor rotates 180 degrees, since sine 180 is equal to 0, the value of voltage is 0. Further rotation will take the value of voltage to a negative value. When it is making 270 degrees, the value goes to the negative maximum. When it further rotates, the value starts increasing. When it makes 360 degrees, one revolution is completed. After 360 degrees, the phasor further rotates and the waveform repeats. Let us speak about the in-phase waveforms and in-phase phasors. We now take a voltage waveform which is varying sinusoidally. The equation of this waveform is V of t is equal to Vm sine omega t plus or minus 0 degrees. We have put plus or minus 0 degrees because the waveform is drawn passing through the origin. Let us take another waveform of a current. The equation of this waveform is I of t is equal to Im sine omega t plus or minus 0. Because this waveform is also drawn starting and passing through the origin. Let's put both the waveforms in one figure. You can see now the voltage and current both are passing through the origin with a starting value of 0. The values of both V and I are increasing positively. Both are reaching their positive maximum values at 90 degrees. Together, their values are decreasing, reaching 0 at the same time, moving towards negative values, reaching their negative maximums at the same instant, and then after one cycle, both are reaching 0 together. From this, we can say that the voltage and current waveforms are in phase. Otherwise, the phase angle difference between voltage and current is zero. Let us draw the phasor diagram. Voltage is taken as a reference at 0 degrees. With reference to this voltage, the current is drawn again at 0 degrees because both are in phase. The phase angle between voltage and current is zero. Let us speak about the lagging waveforms and lagging phasors. You are seeing in this figure two sinusoidal waveforms, one of the voltage, the other one of the current. Both are shown in phase. The equation for the voltage V of t is equal to Vm sin omega t. I of t is equal to Im sin omega t. The phasor diagram for this condition is V as a reference at 0 degrees. Current also is at 0 degrees because both are in phase. Now let us move the current waveforms towards right by theta degrees. You can observe now that the voltage is still at 0, but the current is starting at a later time. In other words, it is delayed or lagging. The equation for the current now is I of t is equal to Im sin omega t minus theta. The phasor diagram for this situation changes like this. I is shown lagging the voltage by theta degrees. We will look into the leading waveforms and leading phasors. You are again seeing two waveforms, one of voltage, one of the current. The equation for the voltage is Vm sin omega t. Equation for the current, Im sin omega t. The phasor diagram is voltage and current. Both are in phase, both at 0 degrees. Now let us move the current waveform towards left by theta degrees. You can observe now that voltage is still at 0, but current is in advance. It has already started before the voltage by theta degrees. Or we can say the current waveform is leading the voltage waveform by theta degrees. The equation for the current now is Im sin omega t plus theta. The phasor diagram now changes like this. The current is leading the voltage by theta degrees. Let us understand the phasor diagrams by doing a small exercise. Two waveforms are shown in the figure. We have to draw the phasor diagrams and write equations taking V as the reference at 0 and as a second part taking I as a reference at 0. Let us start with the first part, taking V as a reference at 0. Now from the waveforms, you can see the voltage is starting at 0. So its equation is Vm sin omega t plus or minus 0. The current equation is Im sin omega t minus 90 degrees because current is starting after 90 degrees. It is delayed. Now draw the phasor diagram. V taken as a reference at 0. Current phasor is to be drawn at minus 90 degrees. Let us take up the second part. Take I as the reference at 0. Now from the waveforms, you can see the current is at 0 degrees. So mathematical equation for current is Im sin omega t plus or minus 0. The equation for the voltage is Vm sin omega t plus 90 degrees because voltage is leading the current. Draw the phasor diagram by taking I as reference at 0. The voltage phasor is to be drawn at plus 90 degrees. Let us speak about the phasor diagram for a resistor. You are seeing in this figure a resistor R connected to a sinusoidal voltage V of t. In this loop, a current I will flow. The equation for the voltage is Vm sin omega t plus or minus 0, whose waveform is shown here like this. The current will have the equation Im sin omega t plus or minus 0 in the case of resistor. The waveform for the current is shown in the figure. Now let us draw the phasor diagram. Both voltage and current are in phase. So in the case of resistance, voltage and current are in the same phase. In other words, phase angle difference is 0. V and I shown in the phasor diagram are the RMS values. V by I will give you the resistance R in ohms. We will now look into the phasor diagram for an inductance. In the figure, you are seeing an inductance connected to a voltage source of V. The equation for the voltage is Vm sin omega t plus or minus 0. A current I will flow in the loop of the circuit. The equation for the current in the case of inductance is Im sin omega t minus 90 degrees. You can see the waveforms of voltage and current in the case of inductance in this figure. You can observe the waveform of the current is delayed by 90 degrees. So we can say for an inductance, the current lags the voltage by 90 degrees. In other words, V is leading the current by 90 degrees. Let us draw the phasor diagram. Take V as the reference at 0 and draw the current lagging by 90 degrees. If you put voltage by current with voltage angle 0 and current angle as minus 90 degrees, you will get it as XL with plus 90 degrees. In the other way, you can write it as plus JXL. Here, XL, which is equal to omega L, is the inductive reactance in ohms. This is a positive reactance. Let us take up a problem on inductance. It is said that a 220 volts 50 Hz supply is connected to an inductance of 350 millihenries. We must find out the value of RMS current and draw the phasor diagram. The values given in the problem are put on the figure pertaining to this problem. The current I flows in this circuit. The capital I, which is shown here, is the RMS value of the current. Let us first find out the XL by using this formula. XL is the inductive reactance. By substituting the value of frequency and the inductance, we get XL as 110 ohms. Now the current I can be found by V by JXL. For V, we will put it as 220 with angle 0, and JXL will be written in the polar form as 110 with angle 90. From this we get the current I as 2 with angle minus 90 degrees. This is the phasor diagram. From this problem, we can conclude that the current 2 amperes will be lagging behind the voltage by 90 degrees. We will now look into the phasor diagram for a capacitance. In this figure, a pure capacitor having capacitance of C farads is connected to a voltage source V of t. The equation for the voltage is Vm sin omega t. The angle of this voltage is plus or minus 0. The waveform of the voltage is shown in this figure. In the loop of the circuit, a current I of t will flow, whose waveform is now shown in this figure. You can observe this current waveform is in advance by 90 degrees. The mathematical equation for the current can now be given by Im sin omega t plus 90 degrees. The phasor diagram looks like this. Taken voltage as the reference at 0, the current will be leading by 90 degrees. If you now put voltage by current as V of angle 0 divided by I with angle plus 90 degrees, you will get XL angle minus 90 degrees. Or the other way, you can write it as minus JXC. Here, XC, which is equal to 1 by omega C, is called capacitive reactance in ohms. It is a negative reactance. We will now solve a problem on a capacitance. A 200 volts 100 Hz supply is connected to a capacitance of 70 microfarads. We had to find out the RMS current and draw the phasor diagram. This is the figure related to this problem. The current I flows in this circuit. I shown here is the RMS value. The XC is the capacitive reactance is given by 1 by 2 pi Fc. Now by substituting the values given in the problem, we will get Xc as 22.72 ohms. Now the current can be written as 200 by minus J 22.72 because capacitive reactance in the rectangular form should be written as minus J 22.72. Now the current I is 200 angle 0 because we are taking voltage as the reference at 0. Inductive reactance written in its polar form. The I will come out as 8.8 amperes with angle plus 90 degrees. This is the phasor diagram. From this problem, we can see that the current in a pure capacitance leads the voltage by 90 degrees. Let us see about the phasor diagram of a series RLC circuit. In this figure, you have a series branch consisting of RLC elements connected to an AC voltage of V volts. R is having a ohmic value of R. The inductive reactance of the inductance is plus JXL. The negative reactance of the capacitor is written as minus JXC. A current I of t will flow in the loop of this circuit. This current is a common parameter for all the three elements. Because of this current flowing in all the three elements, there appears the voltages across R, which will be VR, across L, it will be VL, across C, it will be VC. Now let us look into the phasor diagram. We will take the current as the reference at 0. The current is taken as the reference because it is a common parameter for all the three elements. We know in the case of RLC elements, in the resistance, voltage and current will be in the same phase. In the case of inductance, the current lags. Otherwise, inductance voltage will lead. Now coming to the capacitance, the current leads. In other words, the capacitor voltage will be lagging behind the current. This is the VR, which is in the same phase as that of the current. The VL should be drawn leading by 90 degrees because we know in the case of inductance, current lags. So VL leads. Now coming to the capacitance, we should draw VC lagging behind by 90 degrees because in the case of capacitor, current leads. Otherwise, capacitor voltage lags. Now we can show in this equation the total voltage is the sum of VR plus JVL minus JVC because VL is vertically upwards, it is written as JVL. VC is vertically downwards, so we wrote it as minus j VC. Now let us write the total voltage V as I into Z. That will be equal to, in the case of resistance, VR is equal to IR as per the Ohm's law. Then for VL, we can write I into XL. For VC, we can write I into XC. Now taking I as common, we get it as I into R plus JXL minus JXC. From this, by cancelling I and I on both sides, we get Z is equal to R plus JXL minus JXC. This can be written as Z is equal to R plus J into XL minus XC. Here Z is called the impedance in ohms, R is the resistance, XL minus XC is the total reactance X. Let us know how to write the current expression in a series RLC circuit. The figure shows an RLC series branch connected to a voltage source of V volts. The values of RLC are written as R plus JXL minus JXC. The current flows in the loop, which will be I of t. The current expression in RMS value can be written as V by Z. Z is the impedance, which will be equal to R plus J into the total reactance. Here V and I are the RMS values. In this figure, you have all the three elements connected in series. In the second figure, we have only R and L. In the third figure, you have only R and C. In all the three cases, we should be in a position to write the impedance expression. In the first case, it will be R plus J into the total reactance. In the second case, it will be R plus JXL only. In the third case, it will be R minus JXC only. We will speak about the rectangular and polar forms of the impedance Z. In this figure, Z is drawn making an angle of theta with the horizontal. Its magnitude is R. It's making X units along the horizontal axis, Y units along the vertical axis. We can also call the horizontal and vertical axis as the real and imaginary axis. From the figure, we can write that Z in two forms. One is the rectangular form, where we can write Z as X plus JY. In the polar form, it can be written as R with angle theta. From the figure, we can write R as a root of x square plus y square, and theta can be written as tan inverse y by x. X and y values in terms of R and theta can be written as x is equal to R cos theta and y is equal to R sin theta. For example, a complex number 3 plus j4, which is in the rectangular form, can be changed into the polar form as 5 angle 53.13 degrees. Likewise, a polar form of the number can be written in the form of rectangular form into 3 plus j4. Let us now take up a problem. A circuit consists of a resistance in series with a capacitance. A 200 volt source is connected across the circuit. We have to find out the current and draw the phasor diagram. By doing this problem, we will understand how to use the rectangular and polar form of a complex number z to solve the problems. This is the RC branch which is said in the problem. R has 30 ohms. The capacitance has 25 microfarads. A voltage source is connected across the series branch. Let us first find out the capacitive reactance by using the expression 1 by omega c. Here omega is the radian frequency given as 1000 radians per second. By calculation, we get Xc as 40 ohms. Now we can write the impedance of this series branch as R minus jXc, which will be now 30 minus j40. The current will be written as V by Z. V is taken as the reference as 200 angle 0 degrees. Z is written 30 minus j40. This 30 minus j40 is in the rectangular form. This rectangular form will also be changed into the polar form. By doing that, you will get it as 50 angle minus 53.13. By doing this division, you will get the current as 4 angle 53.13 degrees. The angle is represented by phi equal to 53.13 degrees. The phasor diagram can be drawn by taking V as the reference at 0. The current, since it is at plus 53.13 degrees, it is drawn leading by that angle phi. Cos phi is called power factor of the series branch. Power factor in this case is cos 53.13 degrees, which will be equal to 0.6. In this case, it is a leading power factor because this is a capacitive branch. We will conclude this session on sinusoidal waveforms and phasor diagrams. In this session, we spoke about the lagging and leading nature of the phase angles. When sinusoidal waveforms are applied to the elements of R, L, and C, we have understood the type of responses. We also looked into what is reactance and what is impedance. We did small problems through which we have understood the waveforms and phase angles, leading and lagging natures. Thank you.